Hey everyone, it's Al here with
Extra
Ordinary Athletes, and today we're going to be kicking off our 6th playlist. So you can all see that all of our playlists and all the videos we make are completely dedicated to people who don't really have time to get to the gym or have very little time. That's why we have things like the Hit It in 12 series, which shows you how to get an entire workout for any body part in 12 minutes or sometimes less. That's why we have pro tips for the ordinary athlete. These are videos that help you make any workout more efficient with little tips and tricks. But we also know that a lot of people, sometimes if you have a little extra time, may want to go through a full routine. And that's what we're going to be doing here today, kicking off our 6th playlist, Full Routines. And what we're going to be doing is showing you some of our favorite exercises, whether it's for legs, whether it's for biceps, whether it's for chest, and taking you through a routine that we might do from time to time. So with that, we're going to decide which full routine we want to kick this off with. What do you guys think?
Chest.
Chest?
Yeah, chest. Dance routine.
No, booty. It gotta be booty.
Well,
Okay, I got a solution. Rock, paper, scissors it, right? Like really easy.
Rock, paper,
Dance, okay.
they're gonna figure this out.
Booty. You're going for
Chest, yeah.
dancing, obviously.
Okay.
Dancing is not.
Dancing is not a thing.
It is a thing.
It's-
Okay, ready. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so it turns out that Errata ended up winning the rock, paper, scissors. So it looks like our full routine today is gonna be for the glutes.
Look happier, guys. Look happier. Not.
Let's start off with a nice warm-up. We're gonna do 4 exercises for the warm-up. They're gonna be 30 seconds each. The first one is just gonna be high knee raises. Just get your knees up and make sure that you are touching your hands to your knees. Higher. Get the knees higher. Good, excellent.
Are you timing us?
Yes,
You're welcome.
thanks. Remember, 30 seconds. So good. Excellent. So make sure that you're raising your knees up as high as possible. This is a bit cardiovascular as well as it is a dynamic movement for the muscles. Okay, so we'll stop that. The next movement is going to be again 30 seconds. We're warming up, is a partial side-to-side squat. So I'll just show you guys how it is. It's a bit of a ballistic movement. So you're in a squat, but very partial squat. And you step to the side, squat, step to the side, and then back the other way. And that's it. That's the movement. And in fact, you should go either once or twice in one direction and then once or twice back. Okay, so we'll do this for 30 seconds. Not so deep here, and make it very ballistic. Make it very dynamic. Exactly, perfect. Excellent. Now the whole point of this is actually to warm up some of the tendons in the knees. Excellent. So we'll do this for 30 seconds as well. Yeah. She's starting to add a little jump to it, but whatever warms you up.
I'm just so excited that I won, you guys.
That's good. All right, and we'll stop right there. Okay, now the next movement is going to be a opposite toe touch. So you're just gonna stand in place, and then you're gonna take one hand and touch your opposite toe, and then reverse to the other one. Alrighty, okay, 30 seconds. Perfect. And again, we're just trying to get the blood flowing. We're trying to get a bit of a cardiovascular warm-up, as well as make sure that the blood's flowing to the legs and the glutes and all those areas that we're gonna be using for the actual workout. Anyone tired yet?
This is the warm-up.
It's okay.
We're just getting started.
All right.
Together.
All right. So 10 more seconds of this.
It's okay, you'll do it afterwards.
No, I won't.
We need to get you a booty.
Yeah, my booty's fine. All right, and stop. Okay, and then we're gonna go into our 4th and final warm-up. Again, just 30 seconds, and it's just running in place. But the trick here is to make sure that your heels are high. So let's all turn to the side so we can show the camera, and you're just trying to get your heels exactly perfect. So we'll do that for 30 seconds as well. Now this one's probably the most cardiovascularly intense, but certainly an important addition to any leg or glute warm-up. Heels high. Oh, they're hitting their butts with those high heels.
That's because
perfect.
we have bumps to kick. I know it's an unknown experience to you, but
They pretend like I don't have a booty. I have a booty. I definitely have one.
I like that you're saying the word booty. Yeah.
Oh, that's what she says it. So that's perfect. You know what? I'm gonna make you do it for longer than 30 seconds. No. Okay, and we'll stop. So everyone shake it off, maybe grab a sip of water, and now we're gonna begin the actual workout. And it's gonna take place in 4 rounds. The first 3, we're gonna be up on our feet, and then the last 4th round, we'll be down on the mat. So once everyone's ready, you guys good to go? The other thing I want to point out that we're going to show you is we have 3 people here, perfect opportunity to show you 3 variations. We're going to have the regular standard variation. I think most people should be following along with errata. If it's a bit too difficult, we'll show you an easier version. And if you really want to kick it up a notch, Kat's going to be doing things like adding ankle weights and sometimes even dumbbells and plates as well. So the first exercise we have is going to go for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And it's a squat, but there's a twist. When you come up, you're gonna do a squat with a side leg kick. Then come back down, deep squat, come up, side leg kick. Ready? Let's go. So 1 minute 30, squat, side leg kick. Exactly. Squat, side leg kick. Excellent. So you can see that what's going on here is not only are you getting that deep squat, but even more importantly, that leg kick is going to start working the glute minimus and the glute medius, which are often forgotten muscles of the butt, but really important, not just for fitness, but also to give you that more fuller, rounded, shapely figure. How's it going with the weights, Kat?
Awesome.
So that's really, really difficult. Only do that if you're very comfortable with this exercise.
Or if you feel like a challenge. Even
Yes.
if you do a few, you don't have to do the full 1 minute 30, right?
Yeah, Kat's absolutely right. So if you're looking for a challenge, definitely something that you should try out. And if you notice that you can't handle it, then just do it for a bit and go back to a more regular version of it. Perfect. I want to see deep squats for everyone. We're almost 1 minute in. Have another 30 seconds to go.
The struggle's starting to get real.
We just started. This is the first one. The first exercise of the
burn is
workout.
happening.
And the burn's already happening.
If you're struggling, I'm with you. This is a really good
Now,
workout.
if you are struggling, what I want to point out is stop, pause the video, take a break, do whatever you need to. So, yeah, you already saw perfect. So, Christina needed
She thought you didn't see that.
Christina needed a pause. So, she took a break, which was excellent. Kat, the weights were starting to burn too much. She took them off. 3 seconds, 2, 1, great. Okay, excellent. So that's the first one, and I think everyone's already sufficiently tired. So you can tell this is a difficult workout. Let's go to exercise number 2. Exercise number 2, a bit easier, is just a forward lunge. So we just lunge 1 foot forward, come down. We really want to make sure that the knee is tracking over the toes. You don't want the knee going off in one direction or another. And we're going to do this for 1 minute 30 and switch on every single rep. So we'll go 1, and we'll go 2, and that's going to be the exercise. Ready? And Kat's going to show us a variation with weights. So let's begin. Start. Great. Excellent. So you see the different variations that you could do. You can do it with no weight, the way Christina's doing it here. You can also do it the way Errata's doing it, which is a bit of a longer lunge. Now the reason why I really want to point this out, if you take a look at the longer lunge, and everyone should be doing the longer lunge because that specifically will target the glutes more. If you do a bit of a shorter lunge and it's not so lengthy, what you're doing is focusing more on the quads. So the longer it is, the more glute activation you're hitting.
Does it matter how I step off with my foot? Or is it whatever's like...
So the most important thing is make sure that the weight is coming on your heel, and when you step back, push off the ball of your foot.
Yeah.
But you're doing it perfectly. And then the last variation that we just want to take a look at is what Kat's doing here. So she's doing a bit more of an intermediate in terms of the length of the lunge, not too extreme and also not too short, getting a little glute as well as a little quad both together. But she's doing it with weights, makes it a lot tougher. But if you want that challenge, definitely add the weights. We're at 1 minute 10, 20 more seconds. Did I make a workout that was too difficult for everyone?
Oh, we'll see when you do that.
It's very difficult when you have to talk the whole time.
Talking's difficult. Talking's
Are
difficult.
you exhausted, Al?
Yeah, I'm pretty exhausted. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, so hopefully you were able to stick with us. I'm trying to figure out how to use this phone. So hopefully you stuck with us. We have the third exercise of round 1, and then we get a little break. But as you see, if you're already exhausted, please stop, take a sip of water. This is for beginners. We're walking you through it, but it is intense and it is tough. So remember to take breaks as you need them. Exercise number 3, this one's less cardiovascularly intense, but it really hits the glute. So what we're doing here is hip abduction. And what you want to do is stand, you don't want a lot of momentum in this move, and just raise your leg straight out. We're gonna do 15 reps on one side and then 15 on the other. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
I always yawn when I do these.
Yeah, well, you're just trying to get more oxygen into your body, so it's fine. So I'm gonna show you each of the variations, but let's all begin. Remember, 15 reps, everyone, both legs. Let's go.
Where's the timer?
There is no timer, 15 reps, you gotta count them yourself. Okay, so while they're counting their own reps, here's what I wanna point out. Irada's doing a standard version where she's alternating from one leg to the other and she's not holding on to anything for support. So she's doing it perfect, raising your leg as high as it can go. Again, you're hitting your glute medius, your glute minimus with this. Really important to get that full glute development. Now, if you need a little support, because the key here is to make sure that you're standing straight up as much as possible. So if you need a little support, you can see what Christine is doing over here, which is holding onto a wall. You can hold on to anything, a counter, an exercise machine, whatever you have near you. And that's how she's making sure that she keeps her body, try to keep it a little more upright if you can, keeping her body upright as she extends her leg out. Now, if you want that added difficulty, again, you can look to what Kat's doing. Definitely need wall support because you're adding weight. So what she's done is she's added a plate to her side. So as she's doing the abduction, it's putting more weight on those muscles we're trying to hit. Is that 15 for everyone?
Yep.
All right, that's round one. Take a quick, just 5-10 seconds, gather yourself, take a sip of water. I need a sip of water too, actually. So make sure you're feeling good because now we have round two coming up.
Water?
Thank you.
Water. I need a towel.
I know.
Okay. No, just
Getting all sweaty.
live with the sweat. Live with the sweat.
It's
Ready?
not sweat. It's spark.
It's glow.
We glow.
It's glow. Yeah.
Everyone ready for round two?
Yes.
Yeah,
let's
okay.
Bring it.
So round two, again, I'm gonna be pointing out different variations and how to maximally target the glute muscles. So the first exercise we're gonna be doing, jump squat. Really cardiovascularly intense, but maximum results you get from this. So a jump squat, you squat down, doesn't have to be super deep, but make sure you're deep enough that you can power up and come right back down. And this is the exercise. Ready, everyone? We're gonna be doing this for 1 minute. Let's go. Perfect. Now what I want to point out here, and I think the most important thing is, I'm not recommending that anyone does this with weights. This is a plyometric exercise and we want to be healthy on the joints, so definitely be careful. Not something you want to add weight to, and if it's too difficult because you're really just starting out and you're not used to these kind of movements, then the best thing to do is just try to revert back to a regular squat. But if you can get the jump, do it. And notice, what I really want to point out is, and Rada's showing it perfectly, land softly. You don't want to just land straight-legged. You want to land already going into your next squat. That's the idea behind the jump squats. Ladies, what's happening here? That was only
tough.
45 seconds.
It's tough.
Oh, is it tough?
Oh, it's not tough for me.
It's not.
tough for them.
So notice what Christina's doing. As soon as it got a little too difficult, she just reverted down to regular squats. That's excellent. And that's the full minute.
Let's go.
Tough? Too tough?
Oh, I'm sweating.
We can do this, Kat.
So these are the moves that we often do as part of our routines, and we've tried to put them together in a quick, full exercise routine for you. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kept going.
Exercise 2, round 2. So now we have walking side squat, so less cardiovascularly intense. And what you're gonna be doing here is, well, I'll show you this way, is you're gonna get down into a squat about 45 degrees. So not full, just 45 degrees, and then you're gonna step one way, and you're gonna step back the other way. That's the whole thing. It's gonna hit your quads, yes, but it's also gonna be hitting the glutes. So let's begin, start. And what I want to point out that the girls are doing here as they go, so we're going to do this for 1 full minute. And what I want to point out is Kat and Irada have both added one of those elastic bands. And the reason why they've done this is because now it's a lot more difficult to kick your legs straight out as you step. And what that does is, again, it's going to hit those glute medius and glute minimus muscles even more. Feeling the added burn to it?
I can definitely feel the burn.
Okay, good, good. So if you're up to that extra challenge, add the elastic band. You see they've wrapped it around their legs just below their knees. That's perfect. And if you don't have an elastic band or you find it too difficult, just do the regular 45-degree squat, sidestepping one direction and sidestepping to the other.
Stick with me, I got you.
Yes, yes. I love seeing them exhausted like this. They're always ragging on me. Now I get to rag on them a little bit.
It's okay, you're next.
You guys aren't done yet? Actually, yeah, you guys are done. I made them go a little longer than a minute.
Talking. Wow, you're so brave when you're not doing this.
Okay, so exercise 3, still in round 2, exercise 3, we have standing donkey kicks. So this is a favorite of a lot of girls that I know, and there's so many different ways to do it. We're gonna make sure we do it right.
Also good for dudes. Yeah, to get a booty. Ow.
Yes, well. Anyways, so standing donkey kicks. So the most important thing to remember here is we're gonna be bending forward a little bit. You're gonna bring your knee in, kick straight back, and hold and squeeze that glute muscle for a second. We're gonna be doing 12 reps each side. Everyone ready? Let's go. Yeah, oh, they already started, fantastic. So they're gonna count their own reps, and I'm gonna show you the different versions here. So you see Christina, she's using a wall for support, excellent. She's kicking her leg straight back, and she's holding for a second. Perfect. Now, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, hold even longer, like Irada's doing. So what you see is Irada's kicking straight back, squeezing that glute muscle for a full good like 2 seconds, then bringing it back down. And if you want an even additional challenge, you can use the leg weights, which is what Kat's doing now. This is gonna burn and this is gonna kill. She's kicking straight back, holding for a split second and bringing it back down. If you notice that that is too difficult for you, take the weight off and just continue like normal. But for that extra challenge, definitely something that you're gonna wanna try. So those are the 3 different versions. What reps are we on, girls?
Last one. 5.
Done. 7. This is for the second. Yeah.
Second leg. Now remember, Irada, it's not just a straight leg back. You're bringing your knee in and kicking straight back. Perfect, exactly. How was it with the weights?
It was really good.
Yeah.
Good challenge.
Tough, very tough. So pace yourself, and if you need a break, again, I recommend just pause the video, take an extra water break, and then keep going. We're all good?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're halfway through this routine. Again, it's a short routine. We're hitting hard exercises though. 1 minute water break for
Water
everyone.
break time.
Yeah, and if you're joining us and doing all this, good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're halfway through.
If you're still with us, this is fantastic.
And what I really love about all the exercises we're doing is you don't need machines for any of them. This is all stuff that can be done in someone's basement. These are things that you can do in your living room. And if you have ankle straps or bands, great. And if you don't have them, you can do versions without them. And each of our exercises are gonna be like that.
And if you want to do what we're doing and get like a bunch of friends together to do it, also super fun. As a reluctant worker-outer, it's way more fun with these people. Way more fun.
Not for me, not for me. All right, I think that's more than a minute of water break. Let's go to round 3, where we're gonna be starting off with lateral jump squats. So a lateral jump squat goes like this. You get down in a squat position, but instead of just powering back up like normal, you're really gonna explode and kick off to the side. Then kick back, and you're just gonna go side to side exactly like this. Again, just like with any plyometric exercise, I'm not recommending anyone use weights here. Everyone ready to start?
Yep.
All right, begin. All right, good. So we're gonna be doing this for 1 full minute. And as the girls are doing that, I want to point out a couple things. 1, this is a plyometric exercise, so you really want to get that explosion factor as much as you can as you go from side to side. But as you notice, if it's a bit too difficult, you can do more of a step from side to side. Christina, you want to show them how to just step? Exactly. Perfect. So what you can see there is Christina, maybe you're a little tired, you're a little fatigued, so make it easier on yourself. Instead of exploding, just step from side to side.
We got this.
You can go back to the regular version now. So you keep it going for the full minute, and if you need the break, take the break. And this is really gonna work on glutes, ensuring that you get some explosive movement in your workouts, hits the muscles a little differently, and make sure that you get full maximum development of the glute muscles, as well as the quads. All right, you guys ready? All right, you can stop.
I feel like he gives us an extra several seconds.
He does.
I'm torturing them a little bit. I'm not even actually looking at the phone. I just feel like once they've had enough, I stop them.
Taking too much joy.
Okay, exercise number 2, static reverse lunge. This is actually one of my favorites. Good for the glutes as long as you're getting a really long lunge, but it's also good for the quads. So what do we do here? So a lot of people have heard of a reverse lunge. Just like a regular lunge, but instead of stepping forward, you're gonna step straight back and bring it down. So that's the reverse lunge. But what we're doing that's a little different here is when you go down into the lunge, you're gonna hold for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're gonna step back, go back with the other leg and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's the exercise. We're gonna do 10 reps each leg. This is gonna be tough. And to make it tougher, always you can add dumbbells as well. Ready? Nothing for me to time? Yeah, dumbbells. Nothing for me to time for this one. So count your own reps, 10 reps each leg, but take breaks if you need them. Ready? Good. Hold at the bottom for 5 seconds, Arata. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay, so make sure that you're doing that hold when you're at the bottom. This is very important because that static hold for 5 seconds is ensuring more optimal recruitment of all the muscle fibers in the area. The other thing that I want to point out, and I mentioned this last time when we were doing the lunge, the elongation of the lunge. So I mentioned it, but it bears repeating many times. If you want maximal glute elevation, look at exactly what Arata is doing here. She's really elongating that lunge. Not a short lunge, not like this, but she's really making sure that she elongates it as much as possible, stretches out that glute, and uses it as much as humanly possible. So make sure, again, you're doing 10 reps each side. Kat's doing a bit heavier weights. Again, she's doing more of a mid-range for the lunge, not too long, not too short. So you're getting both quads and glutes about evenly there. And just do what you can here, because this is a really tough one. And if you find that you can't hold it for 5 seconds, we completely understand. Hold for as long as you can, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and come back up out of the reverse lunge.
And if you lose count, like I do, that's okay too.
Me too.
Just pretend you didn't. It's okay.
So what they're gonna do is they're just gonna continue forever because they're not counting.
Nah, I think I'm.
Counting's important, but
But continuing forever is also important. So how was it with the weights?
It was tough. Yeah.
So this is one of my favorite exercises, I think, for legs, but make sure that you're doing it properly. And also, I just want to point out, when you're going back into the reverse lunge, try your best to keep your torso straight up. You notice sometimes a rat is bending forward, try to fight that as much as you can. We good?
picking on me.
No, never pick on errata. All right. So that was the static reverse lunge. We're now about to finish off round 3 with sumo squat. And the way that you do a sumo squat is very similar to a regular squat, but your legs are a bit wider, so wider than shoulder width. And you're also gonna notice that our toes and our feet are pointed outwards. Now the same principles still apply. You want the knees tracking over the feet. You don't want them coming in or going out. They're still tracking over the feet, and you don't want them to go too far past the toes. And you squat down nice and deep in this sumo squat, and then come back up. And that's gonna be our last exercise for round 3, and we're doing it for 1 full minute. Ready? Let's begin. Start. Good. Now, what I really do want to point out, and this could apply to any squats that you're doing, but this is a good time to bring it up, is when you come up, if you really want maximal tension on the muscle, don't come up all the way and lock your knees. So, ladies, exactly. So don't come up as Christina just did and then shake her finger. Come up only to about 90, 95%, then go right back down into your squat. So come right back down, exactly. So exactly, perfect. So it's really hard to notice on camera, might be hard to notice even if you're looking at a person.
maybe sideways.
But yeah, try sideways. So you can see exactly, you see there's still a bit of a bend in Arata's knee when she's coming up. She's not locking the knee, she's not disengaging the glutes and the quads. She's still going down and up to 95%. And what that does is it forces the muscle to be engaged the entire time throughout the exercise. Really important, maximal time under tension for that muscle. All right, that's 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Woo.
I gave them an extra 2 seconds of punishment.
Woo.
Feeling
Extra
good?
gains, extra gains. That's what you're giving us.
Extra gains.
He might
Okay.
think of it as punishment.
Yes.
This is glory.
I'm glad I'm not doing it. That's all I'm saying. So we finished off round 3. Now round 4, the final round, and then we're done. And the final round is kind of a bit of a cool down. It's going to be some floor exercises that really try to burn out that glute muscle. So
Can we just notice that he said a cool down that will burn out?
Oh, that was beautiful. That was poetry.
yeah, you get some coolness and you get some burning out. It's all part of it. So Kat's gonna make sure she gets her weights ready. The first exercise we're doing is glute bridge. And I'm just gonna show it very quickly. You get down on the floor, get your feet planted right on the floor, your hands down, and you thrust your hips forward and squeeze your glutes together at the top and then bring them back down. That's the exercise. There's many different variations that you might see of this. Some people use benches as well, definitely helpful. But we're just doing it on the floor to show you that you can do it at home. We're doing this for 20 reps. So hopefully you guys can count to 20 because I'm not counting for them. Now, the other thing that I want to point out here is you can do different variations. So you can do just regular 2-legged version, squeeze for 1 second at the top, that's great. You notice Errata here switched to something that's a bit more difficult, a 1-legged version. This requires more balance, but she's still doing something that's very important. She's squeezing at the top and holding for a second. Excellent. Feeling it more?
Oh yeah.
And then if you want to add weights, that's also possible. And that's what Kat's doing over here. Might be tough to see, but she has a plate that she's put on her abdomen. So when she's coming up, she's squeezing the glute, but now it's under even more tension, specifically 25 pounds in this case of additional tension. So that makes it much more difficult.
20.
20?
Yeah.
Excellent. 20?
Fun.
And when you're doing the 1-legged version and you're doing 20 reps, remember you're doing 10 reps each side. 20?
Uh-huh.
Good. So we're all done. So that's the first exercise that we're doing on the floor. Let's go to the second one. And the second one is going to be donkey kicks.
All right.
So we did a standing version of this one. Now we're going to be doing the same type of exercise, but we're going to be down on the floor. So I'll just show it and point out some important things. You're down on all fours. You take your leg straight back as if you're doing a donkey kick. Or sorry, I should say you bring your knee in and then kick it straight up. But what you don't want to do, and you often see this in the gyms, is people really try to overextend. And you don't want to do that because what it does is it puts an arch in your back and it's not the safest position. So you just want to come up to the point where your upper thigh is parallel and you have a straight back continuing into a straight quad. Ready, ladies?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, kick straight back, good. Now we're gonna be doing 12 reps on each leg. So 12 one leg, and then we switch, do 12 the other leg. And what I wanna point out is, again, this is the running theme of a lot of these exercises. You're squeezing at the top. So you're holding for a second at the top and squeezing. Perfect. The other thing I wanna point out is if you want a little extra challenge, what you can do is what Kat's doing over here. And what she's done is she's added an ankle weight. Now, an ankle weight, only 5 pounds, but for an exercise like this, where it's really hard to hold your leg up for that second, that extra 5 pounds adds a lot of burning, and you really feel it in that glute muscle. Did you feel it burn?
Oh yeah.
All right, good. So we're doing 12 reps each side. You should start to feel, if it starts to burn around rep 8 or rep 9, try to fight through that, because you can always go a little bit past that. And again, perfect straight backs. You want to try to minimize the arch in the back as much as possible. So Christina, you're arching a little bit. So try to just keep it straight, exactly, like a flat table as you're bringing that leg up.
It's kind of like a little bit of a core thing. You have to like pull your core muscles.
Definitely requires some core stability. So Arata's back was flat. Kat, you're seeing her do it with the weight. Again, flat back, very important. We good? 12
10
reps?
on each side, right?
It's 12.
See, I missed
She cut out an extra 2 reps on each side. That's 4 reps you want.
What a slacker.
But you know what? She's keeping a nice flat back and she's holding for a second at the top, so that's fine. Good?
I
Everyone
did
good?
a bonus.
She
okay?
did bonus.
There you go.
You know what?
forgiven.
That's fine. She's forgiven. She's forgiven. Last exercise is going to be toe taps. Now, this is actually one that I don't do very often, but it works if you do it properly. And the way the toe tap works is you're back down in the same position as if you were doing donkey kicks. You bring your legs straight out though, And what you're gonna do is you're gonna make semicircles. And you're gonna hit one side, and then you're gonna bring it back up and around and hit the other side.
Like a rainbow.
Yeah, I guess like a rainbow. That's a good way to think about it. How many reps indeed? We're gonna be doing it for 45 seconds each side. So I'm gonna time you guys.
So as many as you can.
All right.
No, so speed is not the goal though. Not as many as you can. Nice, slow, controlled movements. You guys ready?
Yes.
So 45 seconds, we'll do.
Avoid kicking each other in the face
We'll-
as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea.
If you're doing this with friends, try not to kick them in the face. It can ruin the workout a little bit.
A little bit.
So let's start on one leg and begin. Excellent. So really slow, controlled movements. Kat, can you go a little slower? So really important to point out, this is not like a plyometric exercise. This isn't about quickness or explosive movements. Instead, it's slow and controlled. And what that's doing is, as you're going through the semicircle at the top, that slow and controlled movement is forcing contraction of those glute muscles. So make sure that you are bringing it up and over very slowly in a controlled fashion and squeezing the glute muscles almost like it was an isometric hold, except with side to side movement.
Are you gonna tell us when it's halfway so we switch?
And you still got a few seconds left. Still got a few seconds.
Just giving you a reminder.
42 seconds, 43, 44, and that's 45 seconds. So let's switch to the other leg. Make sure you guys have enough room so you don't kick each other in the face. And,
it's
go.
begun.
Sorry,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
My apologies, but yes, 45 seconds the other leg. Now the other thing that I want to point out, and they're all doing it perfectly, is as you're bringing your toe up and over, you want to try to get maximal range. So Christina, can you just show us what a lesser range would look like? So exactly, you don't want to be doing this.
Sad rainbow.
Right, this isn't getting the maximal glute activation that we want.
Little
so instead,
rainbow.
go back to the bigger,
Baby rainbow.
more expansive,
Big rainbow.
big rainbow.
Double rainbow.
I think you guys are getting the point. So you're gonna do that as elongated, or I should say as full range of motion as possible to get that glute working. And we are done. I make them go another extra few seconds. So that's the entire workout, and I'm glad you guys joined us. Hopefully you were able to stick through it for the full thing. Definitely earned your water now. They don't look that tired. I thought they'd be more tired.
Okay, your turn now.
No.
I think it's remember to subscribe.
Come back.
Subscribe, like us.
Bye.
See you next time. Happier.
All right.
Tap in your stuff. What is this?
It's a high knee. Bye everyone. Come back in.